don't know if I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. Don't worry, guys. Justin will be here momentarily. He's running a bit behind today. Let me adjust my microphone settings here. How's everybody doing? How we all doing today? There we go. The gain was really high. There we go. How's everybody doing today on this November the 1st, the day after a lot of our favorite day of the year? It died last night, T. Parker. It absolutely did. And what a bummer. What a bummer. Last night, Corey Cunningham died. If we were going off of Halloween Ends, that took place October 31st, 2022. So last night, Corey Cunningham officially died. Really, really sad. I don't know when we're going to have, the visitation and everything like that. But again, like I said, guys, Justin will be here momentarily. We got not really a lot to talk about in the sense of I want to recap Halloween. I want to know what you guys did. I want to tell you guys what we both did. I want to know what Justin did. And we got to talk about this Friday the 13th news. And it is not at all what we initially thought when we all thought, oh, well, this is just a nothing burger, right? We're just going to have the, prequel treatment, Pamela and whatnot. No. There's a lot more to it. Yes, Matt, I am wearing the Terrifier t-shirt. Shout out to Matt in the chat. That's right. Matt sent me this shirt out of the kindness of his heart, and I very much appreciate it because this shirt freaking rules, dude. So thank you. Yeah, Ben Tramer did live. But yeah, to everybody in here so far, Troy, Matt, Herbert, Mike, Nathan, Robbie, Sean, Christina, T. Parker. You guys rule. Even a day after Halloween. Quentin. See who else we got in here. Lou. Pope. You guys rule, man. Y'all rule. Y'all are always in here. No matter what day of the week Justin and I decide to go live because sometimes we're dumb. Dylan, what's up? Yeah. So what did everybody do for Halloween? I guess I will recap what I did for Halloween, which is not exactly the most exciting. I didn't do anything crazy is what I mean. I enjoyed myself. I took my son trick-or-treating because, it'd be like that sometimes. And it rained the whole time. So that was awesome. And, got soaked and got cold, and it just sucked in that aspect. But he didn't care. It didn't deter him at all. He loved it. He had fun. And yeah, I had fun that he had fun. And yeah. I don't get any trick-or-treaters at my house. So we actually went to we went to a neighborhood down about 15 minutes away where we normally go. That way I knew that he would get some good candy. It was just me and him, and we had fun. So yeah. While we wait for Justin to get here, guys in the chat, let me know what you guys did for Halloween. Did any of you guys dress up? What did you dress up as? And I don't want to hear for a second. Don't you give me that BS of, I'm too old to dress up. No, you're not. I dressed up like Michael Myers. Yeah, I had to, it was Halloween, and obviously my son was Lightning McQueen. He's obsessed with Lightning McQueen and everything Cars related. So not only was he dressed up as Lightning McQueen, he also had a Lightning McQueen hat, and he was carrying one of his little Lightning McQueen toys, and he had a Lightning McQueen trick-or-treat bucket. So, yeah, Christina went as Sam from Trick or Treat. Nice. Matt took the kids trick-or-treating, watched Halloween 2. Norton. Oh, you were Norman. Hell yeah. I have not been super active on social media the past few days. So if I didn't see some of your guys' posts and stuff like that, I apologize. It's nothing personal. I just literally, if you've noticed, I've posted one time on Instagram in the past week. As you guys know, I was very open last week. Had been a very, very hard week. Slowly coming out of that and getting back to a place where I'm not miserable all the time because I refuse to do that. So yeah, a fat tub of party pooper. Well, you know what? You were alive. You got to enjoy another Halloween. I hope you found some fun in it. I know it's not the same anymore as we get older. I mean, for me specifically, I can speak to that. Justin is texting me, I'm going to be late. You don't say. Guys, Justin's going to be late. Color me shocked. So yeah, and then I came home, and as is tradition, I watched John Carpenter's Halloween. I watch it every year. I used to watch it multiple times in October. Now I reserve it for Halloween nights, and it is always the capper at the end of the night. I watch Halloween, and I go to bed, and that's what I did. And so it didn't change this year. It's never going to change. That's going to be my routine. I love that routine. I'm not going to change it. Sometimes if I have more time, I throw in more movies in the rotation on Halloween night. I just didn't have the time last night. I took my son trick-or-treating, and then we get home, and he wants to run around like a psychopath. And then I got to get him ready for bed. And by the time he's in bed, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I have to work in the morning. So I'm like, well, I've got enough time to watch one movie before I, keel over from exhaustion. So it was the original Halloween. Hey, what's up, Michigan? How you doing, buddy? So yeah, Dylan, we're also going to talk about that Halloween series and the rumors percolating around that, because I had a few people mention that to me that we needed to try. We needed to talk about that. So yeah, we definitely will talk about that. Can you not? Can you not? Can you go on? Go. Act like a psycho. Go. Sorry, my dog's being a turd sandwich. But I hope everybody had a great Halloween. I know that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like I used to be able to watch Screenbot. I totally get it. I used to be able to watch like 4 or 5 movies in succession on Halloween night, and now it's like, nope, not a chance, buddy. You're lucky if you get the one, and by God, I'm going to get the one, and that's the original Halloween. So, what's up, Alex? Michael Myers, Michael. I went as Michael and got a hug from 2 girls. That's funny. What's up, Charlotte? Me and my mate went out trick-or-treating with our kids. It was my baby's first Halloween. Nice. Hell yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. Jaden, I'm going to be a sexy turkey for Thanksgiving and then a sexy Santa Claus for Christmas. So y'all can really just kind of picture that and think about how that's going to look. And it's coming. Mike, as always, reminding you guys to hit the like button on this here stream, because it helps the algorithm and helps your boy get more exposure. So, yeah. I mean, I guess we can just get right into it, because we can't wait for Justin any longer. We'll get his opinion on it. Friday the 13th. It's called Crystal Lake. It is a Peacock series. When it first got announced, we all thought that obviously this was going to be a Pamela origin prequel kind of story, because, these rights issues, there's only so much we could do. Well, come to find out, we were wrong. Horror Inc., who owns the other portion of the rights. Yes, Sean Cunningham is a part of Horror Inc., but he is not in control of Horror Inc. I believe the guy's name is Rob. Rob something. His last name is funky. But is actually in collaboration with Victor Miller on this new show. So Bloody Disgusting cleared that up, because Variety, for whatever reason, in their initial article, they totally buried the lead. And I'll never understand why you'll do that, especially when it comes to Friday the 13th, because what we have known as fans of that franchise for the past decade plus on the outside looking in is legal battle. Legal battle, never going to happen. This stuff's all over the place. It's wild. It's wacky. It's out of control. So when you come out with it's going to be a Camp Crystal Lake, series on Peacock, what do we all think, guys? You thought it. I thought it. Oh, Pamela. Okay. I mean, I'll watch it, but I can't lie and say that I'm over the moon. I mean, I'm excited that we're getting something in that universe. Absolutely. But I'm not going to lie and say that I was just absolutely gobsmacked at the news. I wasn't like, oh my God, yes. Because there's a lot of ways that can go wrong too. I mean, if it's about Pamela and you just don't cast Pamela right, you're done. You're dead on arrival. Like, period. You're dead on arrival. I didn't read the Fangoria interview. I will tonight. I will tonight. But I like Brian Fuller a lot. Guys, I really think if you know Brian Fuller's work, I think that it should, if you had any trepidation about this, it should calm you a little bit. Brian Fuller did Hannibal, that series, and that series was phenomenal. So I am very, very, I very much believe that Brian Fuller is going to do a good job with this. But yeah, Variety buries the lead that Horror Inc. is in collaboration with Victor Miller on this. So Bloody Disgusting comes out today, and they talk about, they didn't retract anything. They just quoted that and said, and here's additional information we got. And that additional information, knowing that Horror Inc. is also associated with the project, tells you, quote, in no uncertain terms, we can use, this was in the press release, we can use anything and everything under the Friday the 13th umbrella. So adult Jason, hockey mask, kid Jason, Pamela, Camp Crystal Lake, the name Friday the 13th, all of it. They can use all of it. So I personally was a lot more excited when I heard about that. And I saw a lot of people talking about it online, Christian, Wham, a lot of the guys that were like, oh, well, like I was definitely mildly excited yesterday when this announcement came, but now that's awesome. Like now that I know that there's a possibility that we can get the classic Jason. And then the question I would ask you guys is, why do a prequel then? You know what I mean? Does that confuse anybody else aside from me? Because it's confusing me. Because if you are now coming out and saying, no, we can do anything and use anything in this franchise, and you don't go with the title Friday the 13th and you kind of pitch it as a prequel series, why? I'm just kind of confused by that. Maybe I'm alone in that. I don't know. That's not saying I'm not looking forward to it. That's not saying that I won't watch it. I absolutely will. But my question to you guys is, does anybody else feel the same way? If that is the case, why are we doing this? Why are we not leaning into Friday the 13th as we know and love it? JC, they're doing a Peacock series called Crystal Lake. Brian Fuller is the showrunner for it. And it was pitched, I believe, as a prequel, but now it's kind of, I don't know. Now it's kind of in limbo of like, well, what's it going to be exactly? Because we can use anything. Said it's not a prequel. You said there would be murders. Okay. So I need to read that interview. I will read that tonight. And yeah, A24 is co-producing it, which I know a lot of people are stoked about because I had tweeted last week that we were going to get news about Friday the 13th. I had gotten word from, I guess I can say it now because it's out in the open, Brad from Bloody Disgusting. He had told me something was coming. And then Piz Owl told me the same thing. He told me something was coming. So two people I trust, Brad, who obviously at Bloody Disgusting is, they're the go-to for horror news. So I didn't quite know. Brad didn't give me any details. He just said it was coming. And then they didn't end up announcing it last week. And I was like, yeah, is something coming? And he told me, he assured me, he said, yes, don't worry. And then Piz Owl said the same thing. And then it came on Halloween. I mean, kind of a great day to announce it, I guess. But Mike, to your question, how is this possible? Look, man, from what I understand, Horror Inc. owns the rights to do certain things with adult Jason, with the hockey mask, with Camp Crystal Lake, all that jazz. Horror Inc. Now, you would think, well, obviously Sean Cunningham is a part of Horror Inc., so that really just means Sean Cunningham, right? No. Sean Cunningham is not the head of Horror Inc. So this Rob guy, I think his name is Rob. It was in the press release. This Rob guy is the head of Horror Inc. So he can essentially agree to that, but you would have to think that means that Sean has agreed to it as well. Obviously, I don't think he would go against his partner's wishes and be like, hey, I'm going to do this anyway. Screw you. No, I would fully assume that both are on board with this because they want the paycheck, of course. But then again, guys, a big question I keep coming back to that I cannot help but keep asking. Why not a movie? Why not a movie? Even Halloween Ends, dropping on Peacock and getting mixed to negative word of mouth is going to cross $100 million worldwide. Like, why not a movie? Why not a theatrical movie? You're almost guaranteed to get like $200 million. Like, period, in the bank. Yeah, I agree. I was a little disappointed yesterday. Now I'm hyped. No, it never ends, Jaden. Okay, so the movies are a mess. Okay. Yeah, Crazy Ralph. We need to see some Crazy Ralph. Justin texted me again, guys. Let's see what Justin said. Send me a link through text. My Lord, Justin. He doesn't technology well, guys. So yeah, I mean it's I'm excited for this. But again, like I just said to you, I've said to you guys a dozen times at this point, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to get here, but I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. I'm going to watch it. A few things. Obviously, we got to have the you got to have it, period. You got to nail the setting. This has to feel like a real summer camp. I need to feel it. We need to see it. I need it. So you got to nail the setting. You have got to give us, and most movies nowadays are really good at this, and I'm not really worried about it, especially with Brian Fuller at the helm. Give me some gnarly ass practical effects and kills. Give me all of it. And most importantly, keep me engaged. Keep me engaged. I know you guys have seen a lot of shows. I have too. How many shows do we watch where it seems like half of the damn season is filler before you actually get the good stuff? Don't do that shit here. I'm telling you. And Sean, I hear you, but in 2009, the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th made over $100 million, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look really quick. And Justin's here. We're going to bring Justin in here. Friday the 13th, 09 made 93 million. So yeah, I definitely think it could. Halloween 2018 did 255. I definitely think it could come close to 200. But Justin, how are you?
Can you hear me first of all? Because my fucking part of my language, my fucking computer is not working right now. So.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to get irritated, but I hate being late and I'm just not in the mood.
Oh, you're good.
Not with you guys, but just not in the mood.
we were just chatting about this Friday the 13th stuff. So before we talk about Halloween and whatnot, Justin, now that you're in here, let me get your take on this news. Are you excited about this? Are you ambivalent? How are you feeling about this?
I mean, I don't know if I like a TV show. I'm like, can we just get a movie? But
that's because we're selfish. We're selfish bitches. We can't help it.
You
we
what?
Want a movie. It's because we're selfish and we want movies. You know,
I
that's
know.
us. I feel the same way.
That's what it is. But no, I mean, I'm 50-50 with it. I think it's unique that they want to do a prequel. You know, it's a different take on a Friday 13th, making it a TV show. And you know, I guess in the end, I'm just happy that we're getting something new when it comes to Friday the 13th. It's been a very long time since we've had anything, and maybe going forward with this TV show, we'll have some more Friday the 13th content. So
yeah,
it's weird that A24 is doing it though. It was like, that's kind of bizarre that A24 is behind it.
Yeah, but Justin, haven't we said for like over a year on these shows that we would love Nightmare or Friday to, go under A24's umbrella? So it's kind of exciting, I'm interested to see what they will do.
Yeah, and you know what? My faith in what they did with X and Pearl and this upcoming Maxine movie, you know what? They could take on slasher movies, or whatever this is going to be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Robbie, we don't have any casting on it yet. We have no news of when it starts filming, when it comes out, nothing. I would assume it's probably going to start filming. God, I mean, if you want to nail the summer camp vibe, I guess you could go somewhere where it's warmer so you could still film in the winter or whatever. I would hope they're aiming for next fall, but we have no idea. But Justin, I don't know if you're aware of this. The initial press release was very misleading. And I was just talking to everybody in the chat about this because Bloody Disgusting came out today and clarified that Sean Cunningham's Horror Inc. and Victor Miller are both executive producing this. So they can use adult Jason. They can use the hockey mask. They can use all of it.
Oh, that's neat. I like that. So,
Which then
I'm
my question to the chat was, then why do we not get a damn movie? And why do we not just call it Friday the 13th if you can use everything anyway? Now, Screenbot96 says that Brian Fuller did an interview and Fangoria where he went into that and explained it more. So I'm interested to read that and look into that. But still, I want to see it on the big screen, damn it.
That's what I want to see. I think that's when it comes down to it, is like, why can't we just have a movie? Like, why does it got to be a TV show? I don't know. Who knows? So,
yeah.
But
well, Justin,
I wish him the
how are
best.
you? How are you? You said today's not the day.
I'm just like having computer problems. So,
Oh, okay.
when I'm behind things, I don't like it. Like Instagram.
You didn't miss much. I was just chit-chatting small talk waiting for you. Don't worry. You didn't miss anything.
Okay. Sorry, guys, if I seem irritated. I hate being late. Like, that is my thing. I do not like being late. So.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, I will eventually get another movie. Absolutely. Charlotte Gore, I do think we will eventually get both because I feel like this is going to be pretty successful. What do you think, Joe? I think a lot of people are going to watch this.
I'm gonna watch it. I think it's gonna be really successful. I think we're finally having something new when it comes to Friday the 13th, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I can't wait.
With Oracle says, now that you say that Horror Inc. is involved with this is awesome news. That would mean Sean and Victor would be going back to the roots like in 1980. Yes, and I would never imagine that Sean and Victor are ever going to be friends again. But I'm at least glad that it seems they're finally able to work together for a paycheck.
Is there a way to hold on? I'm sorry. Is there a way to turn up the volume like on like live stream itself? Because I'm having a hard time.
It would just be on your phone on the volume bar.
Yeah, and it's probably got it as high as it is. I don't know.
Well, I will talk as loud as possible for you.
Okay, so you're good. I can still hear you. Again.
I can hear you fine too. I can hear you fine too. You're good.
Okay. Sounds good.
But yeah, so I agree. I mean, it's very exciting that they're finally able to at least work together for a paycheck. And I say that just to say, like, guys, let's not kid ourselves and act like they need to be best friends and they need to get along. No, they don't. They both own IP for a property that is immensely successful with a huge fan base. They needed to, after 13 years, get sat down in a room by someone and say, cut the shit. Here's a check for you. Here's a check for you. Let us make some Friday stuff. And both of them are getting older anyway. So I don't understand why they wouldn't want some money, near the back end of their lives. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm just glad it's finally happening.
Yeah, I'm excited it's finally happening. So
yeah. All right, Justin. But anyway, guys, sound off in the chat down below. You guys have been already. I really appreciate that. Keep talking about it. And Screenbot says, Brian Fuller said he's getting quadruple the budget of Hannibal. So it's not going to be low budget. Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Hey, Jamie. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. If you're excited, leave a like on the stream. If you're not excited, leave a like on the stream. Justin,
yes.
How was your Halloween?
It was a great Halloween. I passed out candy and it was pretty successful. And I had yesterday off work. I had today off work too, but I had yesterday off. So I started my morning with my pumpkin spice coffee and I watched The Fog, Carpenter's The Fog, the original Exorcist, Return of the Living Dead, and then I ended the night with Halloween Resurrection. There we go.
So, I saw.
But I passed out candy and it was a fun time.
I was like, this is how you're ending Halloween, Justin.
I was on the phone with a buddy of mine for like 2 hours and I was like, I'm getting very sleepy. I've already watched Halloween. I was like, I could have watched it again, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check out that 4K release and see how it is because I've watched every other one. So
yeah. Well, that sounds awesome.
Can't be fun. I like a little camp. I like a little fun. That's who I am.
I'm glad to hear that you had a good Halloween.
It was a good
Yeah,
Halloween. How about yours?
I don't think Hannibal is going to come back, unfortunately, and at least not for a while. But there will be a revival at some point. But mine was good, I guess. Rainy. I was telling everybody. Took my kid trick or treating. He had fun. I had fun. And yeah, I mean, and I ended the night. I only had enough time after I got him trick or treating and got him ready for bed and down for bed to watch one movie. So I ended the night with John Carpenter's Halloween. Which is a staple. Hey, what up? What up, man?
I
I see you in the
almost
chat.
yeah, the other day I was like, do I want to watch it on Halloween, or I started a Halloween marathon, so I was like, well, I'll watch it. I think it was like a Saturday. I watched it, and I was like, I kind of want to go through the first 8 movies and watch them. So I think if I would have had a little bit more time and if I wasn't too tired, I would have popped in Carpenter's Halloween again. So
did you watch
but
all of the Halloween movies this October?
well, let's see. What did I watch? I watched pretty much all of them. The only one I didn't watch Rob's first Halloween because I had seen it not too long ago. And the plan was to watch Halloween 2 yesterday, but again, it got too late. And then I was like, oh, I'll just put on Resurrection just to check out the 4K. But I watched pretty much all of them. I did watch the first 8 in a row, or kind of back to back this weekend. So
yeah, by the way, I saw your Negan costume. You killed that shit. That was a great costume. I got a funny story to tell you guys. So I dressed up as Michael, Justin, naturally.
Nice.
And I had the coveralls and everything. And I went to my son was going up to this house, and I was going up with him, and this guy taps on my shoulder and he goes, "Hey man, that's my daughter up there. Can you like pull your mask down?" Because I had the mask over my head. He's like, "Can you pull your mask down and like scare her? Because like she's terrified of Michael Myers." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So in typical like Michael Myers fashion, I wasn't like boogie boogie boogie. No, I literally just put the mask down. She turned around to come off the porch, and then my son and I were walking up to the porch, and she like saw me. And she like kind of just stood there and stopped for a second, like wide-eyed. And then I just kind of like tilted my head at her, and I started walking toward her. And I guess like to get over her fear, she just like put her hand out for and gave me a high five. And I was like,
that's so sweet.
And he was like, "Oh, thanks, man." I was like, "Yeah, no problem." My son was getting a kick out of me dressed up as Michael Myers. Like, I don't know why he was just laughing hysterically about it. I think it's a nervous thing. You know what I mean? Like it's because it's kind of creepy to him still, but like he knows it's me under there. So he's like laughing, but it's like a nervous laugh. But yeah, I mean, all things considered, I had a good Halloween. I mean, it's definitely different. It was the first Halloween that it was just me and my son. So that, was definitely an adjustment. It was different. But he had a good time and I had a good time, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. So,
and those are the memories you're going to have, like that yesterday is going to be a memory that's going to stick with you forever. So
yeah, my son was Lightning McQueen. So yeah, we talked about
real
this.
Quick. I saw a question real quick. I don't know who. I think it was. Did I see Dawn of the Dead in theaters? No, like my theater. None of my theaters played it at all. So not even one close by. It's such a bummer. I wanted to see that.
Weren't they doing it in 3D too?
Yeah, and it would have been really nice to see in 3D. I think that would have been such a fun Halloween experience, watching that in 3D on the big screen. So
yeah,
definitely would have been cool.
Ethan, Justin, and I agree. Tyler Mane is one of the best Michael Myers. No, regardless of how you feel about those movies, he's one of the best.
You know what I've said. I really enjoy the first one. I love Rob's second movie, but yeah, Tyler Mane is hands down like one of the best. He's possibly top. I mean,
He's top three for me.
Yeah. Top 3.
Yeah, he's top 3 for me. Because I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that really quick. Let's talk about post Halloween blues. We're still riding the high from Halloween, so let's talk about Halloween a little bit. Controversial take, Justin.
Okay.
I think James Jude Courtney is the best Michael Myers.
He's my favorite too. I think it's a controversial take though for me, because he is my favorite. My top 3 though, and this is no disrespect to Nick Castle because I love him, but my top three: James G. Courtney, Tyler Mane, and Dick Warlock.
Okay. Okay.
I know Deborah Hill in the past. Love her, rest in peace. She wasn't like sure about Dick Warlock and the way he walked and everything. I thought the way he walked was scary. It was very scary. Like, it was very eerie. Like, it wasn't he didn't try to walk like Nick Castle. He didn't walk fast. He wasn't running. Just that slow walk through the hospitals. It's eerie. So
yeah, no, it is. I don't. I'm trying to think if I truly think there's a bad Michael. Well, yeah, there's two that I don't really care for.
which ones?
T Parker. My list is the same as yours. JJC, Castle, and Tyler Mane. That's exact order for me as well. So I've been very open about this. I don't think Chris Durand was horrible, and I don't think he was good particularly. I think that at times he was passable, at times he was subpar. And I think that Brad Loree was actually kind of bad. And it's unfortunate, and it's just my opinion, but it's not Brad Loree's fault, because as we learned later on in these movies, throughout learning shit about these movies, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but getting Michael, you want a guy that, yes, you want a stunt performer, but also someone that can act. And Brad Loree will be the first person to tell you he's not an actor. He's a stunt guy. And since then, Tyler Mane is an actor and a stunt guy. James Jude Courtney is an actor and a stunt guy. I think it always works best when it's like that way. Nick Castle was like the one exception, really, because like Dick Warlock, actor and a stunt guy. Nick Castle was just like here, and he was friends with them, and they're like, just try it, see if it works. And it worked great. So like, but that's the thing. So it's no disrespect to Brad Loree, because it's not his fault. It was a job. He got paid for the job, and he did the job. But he was clearly just a stunt guy.
If I had to pick my least favorite, because honestly, I think they all in their own ways do a good job. Like, I rewatched Resurrection last night, and I like Brad in the role. And I also like Chris Duran. Is that his name? Chris Duran?
Yeah, Chris Duran.
I like him in the role, but I would say they're probably the bottom two for me, like, as far as Michael Myers performances go. Because who do we have? We have Nick Castle, Dick Warlock, George Wilbur. He did 4.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's a good thing you mentioned that, because I just want to say, Justin, a lot of people in the chat are saying like, hey, like, they're talking about George Wilbur and Halloween 4 and Halloween 6. As much as I love Halloween 4, I don't think that movie is a particularly good look for Michael all around. The hockey pads, the mask, it's just like, it is not a memorable Michael performance. That's not to say there aren't memorable moments. The, shotgun up through Kelly Meeker, like, there's some great moments, but I don't think it's a good overall portrayal of Michael or appearance of Michael. However, George P. Wilbur is phenomenal in Halloween 6. Phenomenal as Michael Myers.
I completely agree. I think he's good in 4. I think these are some really good moments in 4. But I think when 6 came around, it was like, wow, like, very, very good. Very good. Another hot take I would like to talk about is I rewatched the producer's cut of Halloween 6.
Don't you say
I love both versions of that movie, but I really loved rewatching the producer's cut. I think that improves on some things that the theatrical cut didn't have. Like, I love the soundtrack in the theatrical cut, but there was something about rewatching the producer's cut and that original score being involved that just was so great. Like, I don't know, like,
I've got to agree with you. I love the original score and the producer's cut, and I always have loved the fact that the producer's cut, although it is much more of a mess in terms of all these things they're introducing, ironically, it's more of a cohesive mess. Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense, And a lot of
No.
stuff is like all out there, but at least it's truer to what their initial
Yeah.
vision was. So,
Mm.
whereas for me, I just think the theatrical cut, although it does lose a lot of the initial intention of Halloween 6, what it started out being, it's just
It's
more fun to me.
it's more fun to me too. That's my favorite one, but the last time I watched the producer's cut, I was like, I don't know if I like this. And then I rewatched it though, and I was like, it's actually pretty solid. Like I overall I would say overall love it. So, but I'm
Yeah,
more of a theatrical cut.
I don't dislike it. I really
Yeah.
don't. There's, I mean, God, even Resurrection, which is the bottom of my list, I don't hate that movie. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's horror movies I hate, and like that's not a movie I hate. Like it's
No.
dumb
It's
but I don't hate it, you know?
yeah.
So,
I
but
mean,
again, we're both apologists for this franchise, Justin. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah.
So
I
like,
mean we are. I mean
yeah.
I haven't rewatched Ends yet, but I plan to. And once I do, I'll talk to you about it before I let everybody else know my second reaction to the
Updated
movie.
thoughts. Yes, I want your updated thoughts.
So
Taking down your 12-foot skeleton? Holy crap.
wow.
How much?
That's
I've seen people have those things. How much was that? I'm just curious how much you bought that for, because God, 12 feet,
mm,
Justin. I'm a 6'4" skeleton. So that's 2 of me. That's wild. That
that's
is
crazy.
wild. But yeah, I mean, another year, Halloween is come and gone, Justin. I mean, it never gets any easier. It's ironically though, maybe I'm wrong. Kind of want to know your opinion on this. November 1st is never really that bad for me. It doesn't really set in because the decorations are still up,
Yeah.
and it's usually a few days after Halloween that it starts to set in and you kind of get a little sad.
No, well, it's like the end of the November 1st. You could still get caught up on movies you want to watch, and like you have your surroundings. But after like you said, after maybe a few days, you're like, okay, it's over. Now we gotta wait another year. So,
I mean, look at
but
my like that's what my TV still looks like, bunch of pumpkins and lights and everything like
I
that.
know.
I have yet to touch that because I can't bring myself to do it, Justin. I can't do it.
No, I know. I have my tree stays up until
Christmas.
mid-November, and then I put up the Christmas tree, but I still have some
Yep.
lights and everything in here. So
I heard Christmas music on the fucking radio today, Justin.
oh, I did too, and then I was like, man, they were ready. They were like, Halloween's over. Let's put on the
Dude,
Christmas music.
and I love Christmas, but I always wait until I have always done this. Christmas starts for me as soon as I digest Thanksgiving dinner. What I mean by that is I eat Thanksgiving dinner, I sit on the couch, and I am bloated for a few hours. And then once I get the energy, Thanksgiving night, I put up the tree and I start putting up the decorations that night. But I don't never get into it before then. I feel like I'm cheating on Thanksgiving, you know?
I like putting it up. I think since 2020, I've liked to put up the tree at least mid-November. But what I do is I will have my Halloween, I call it my Halloween and now Thanksgiving tree up until mid-November. And then once I take that down, automatically the other tree comes up. And
Ah,
I like the decorations. So it puts you in a
$250.
happy mood.
$250 for that 12-foot skeleton at Home Depot. But
Wow.
online, it sells for $500 to $1,000.
That is
Wow.
amazing, though. That's probably amazing.
Oh, T. Parker, I used to be a manager for Spencer's Gifts in the mall. So I worked my fair share of Christmas seasons, Black
Oh.
Fridays, and hearing Christmas music 24/7. But I still love the music. I do. I really still do. But I always wait. I always wait till it's appropriate. But if some of you guys are already
Takes-
breaking out the Christmas music, feel free.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that. I'm like, okay, mid-November I see, but like I don't know. I like Christmas music. I love listening to Christmas music. I don't know about November 1st though. I'm like, come on. Let's not
Oh
do
my
it.
God, Justin.
Uh
I have a
you what?
I have a fog advisory for my area tonight. Oh no.
Ooh. I always have it in the morning. Like that's when I normally have it. You should watch The Fog. Ooh.
Maybe I should. It's funny though that we're
Fog
talking
on.
about this. Another reason why I don't get into Christmas music yet is because of this bullshit right here. 60s and 70s for the next 10 days. You
I
got me
love
fucked
that.
up. No, it needs
You
to
don't
just
like
get
60s
cold.
and 70s?
I
Why?
want the cold. I want the cold.
You're nuts. No, you're
No,
not nuts.
as soon as Christmas is over, I'm ready for it to no longer be cold. I'm ready. But
You want your hoodie weather. That's what it is. I'm like that too. I'm like, give me my hoodie weather.
yes, all I do is wear hoodies, Justin. Like my outfit consists of sweatpants, a hoodie, and a hat. And in the cold weather, the hat turns into a toboggan, a beanie, whatever you want to call it. And that, like, it's like I'm like a Barbie doll.
Do you,
Like I come with accessories. Like
do
these
you
are my accessories.
do you remember my throwback days when I used to have like the toboggan hats on and everything? I used to rock that all the time and the
Yes.
curly
Justin
locks.
had Justin had, and I remember the days of the comb over with the hair down in your face, like off to the side. Yep. Yep.
Those days.
Yeah, Jamie lives in New York, right, Jamie? So you, yeah, I believe you live in New York. So yeah, you understand the bitter cold and the snow. Mike,
Oh,
I would love to visit the UK. I would absolutely love to visit the UK. And dog, seriously, come on, man. So JC says I live in Texas. Anything lower than 80 degrees is amazing. Yeah. I hear you, but I don't know, Justin. I mean, when did you decorate outside at all for Halloween, or do you just mainly do inside?
Oh yeah, I'll have to send you. I mean, I'm gonna go outside later and take pictures because it was raining last night. I normally take pictures outside of the decorations. So once I do that, I'll send you some stuff and I'll post some stuff on Instagram. But yeah, we decorate outside. It's pretty amazing. We like to decorate. So
yeah, I do my house up pretty well outside too. And when I pulled into my driveway coming home from work tonight, you know what my first thought was? Son of a bitch, I have to take all this down. And the worst part is, Justin, I do this every year. I don't know why I continue to do this because I continue to have the same problem every year. And I'm interested in knowing what you guys, if any of you guys do this, okay? I always put lights. I wrap lights, orange lights around the bushes. And I have like 10 bushes across the front of Austin. It is a series. It's a series on Peacock. 10 bushes across the front of my house. And I always wrap orange lights around every bush. So it's just orange across. And then I put fake spider webs over all the bushes.
yeah.
And then every year, without fail, the lights and the spider webs get tangled. And it is a pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
Sometimes I literally just have to throw the light strands away. Like I literally just have to be like, I'm done. I can't do this. So yeah,
I'm like, my biggest thing, Nick, is I'm like, I gotta take down the tree. Like that's my thing, and it's so easy to take apart, but it's like, I gotta do that, and then I gotta put the other one up. So
yeah, but at least you know it's like a placeholder for the Christmas tree. You know, you're just replacing it with another tree.
Oh yeah,
so,
I know.
Yeah.
It's like so
which is nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Exactly. So
yeah,
exactly.
Let's see, Justin. So everybody's been asking us to talk about this. I guess we should talk about this, and I want you guys in the live chat to chime in, or if you're watching on the playback, do so in the comment section below. The rumors abound and continue to grow of a potential Halloween series. And people, you know, it's one of those things where usually when there's smoke, there's fire. And it keeps getting smokier and smokier and smokier. So maybe there's some fire there. Justin, what are your thoughts? I mean, if they're going to do this, what are your thoughts? And I would assume, guys, somebody let me know in the chat, but a lot of these rumors are regarding the anthology route, correct? Halloween 4 VHS. Oh, yes. The days of the Halloween message board. Halloween 4.
I remember that.
VHS. Do you remember that thread?
I do. I remember that thread.
We would replace quotes in the we would replace quotes with Halloween 4 VHS. I wonder if that's one of my old friends that I have not talked to in a long time. I am curious, especially with the first initial of M. Very curious. But anyway, Justin, thoughts?
On a TV show, I really don't. I don't know if I want a TV show. I don't want that to be the route that every franchise does now, is let's make a TV show, because that's not what I want. Like,
It is. By the
I'm
way,
happy with what I
it
love
is
what
my
I've
old.
seen so far with Chucky. I know you said Chucky season 2 is not very great, but
Well, in
um
fairness, I'm still an episode behind on that, but yes, it is. That's my old friend Tommy. He just put another Tommy. I have not talked to you in forever, man. Reach out. Don't be a stranger. I hope you're doing well. Seriously. But yeah, continue, Justin.
but yeah, I just don't know if I don't know if I want a TV show. Honestly, you know, I don't know. That's a split thing for me, because I had doubts about Chucky, and Chucky's turned out to be really good, but I'm not sure about a TV show. I don't
Well,
know.
if this is
I
the
got
idea that JC has, I'm down. A buddy cop show about the cops from age 5. Give me
I
it.
mean,
Give
yeah,
me
that'd be
all of
fun.
it. That would be
Oh, you know
fantastic.
what? Okay, I got one. You ready for this?
I'm
How
ready. Hit
about
me.
a TV show centering around the deputy in Halloween 2, the
Oh, Deputy
blonde
Hunt.
deputy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Gary
think that would
Hunt.
be great. Like,
Yeah.
have him living in Haddonfield. Where is he now? That would be great. I
You
would
do
not mind
know,
that.
you remember they were going to bring back Hunter Von Leer, the actor that played Hunt, in
I
Halloween
know.
Returns. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was
Wild.
very disappointed. I liked the concept. I liked the fact that they were really focusing on this one character that only appeared in one movie back in 1981, and they were going to bring him back. And I've always wanted to know what happened to that character after the events
I mean,
in
shit, if we
19.
can get geriatric Charles Cyphers back for Halloween Kills, we could definitely get Hunter Von Leer.
We can get
Because look,
Hunter back.
I loved
And
Charles Cyphers in the original Halloween,
I
but
do too.
that man retired from acting for a reason. He's very old and he just doesn't have it anymore, and that's okay. It was cool to see him for a moment, but the whole, I
I
don't know.
I wonder if that was like either the acting, or if it was just the character he was given. Like, they didn't give him much.
No.
I wish they would have given him a little bit more.
No, I know. And I do think it was part of the acting and the line delivery. When you haven't read lines in a really long time, your line delivery is probably not great.
Yeah.
So that's not really his fault. Also, he's very old now. He's in his 90s. And
Hmm.
but most importantly, the dialogue they gave him was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
come on. Like, hey,
Everyone's
Michael. I
entitled to
guess
one good scare. I was like,
I
come
was like,
on.
stop.
Can we
Just
just do?
stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Austin wants to know, what's your guys' thoughts on the movie You're Next? It's my favorite movie ever, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. I fucking love You're Next.
I absolutely love it. I saw it 3
One of my
times in
favorite
a
Final
row.
Girls. One of my favorite Final Girls.
Oh, mine too. I saw it 3 times in a row the same weekend it came out. So I saw it on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And
In
yeah, I
theaters?
absolutely love it.
In theaters?
Yeah, yeah.
You saw it back to back to back.
In theaters. Yep. I saw it Friday night. It came out. And then, because I saw it with my buddy Doug. And then Saturday, I saw it with a group of friends, including Doug. And then Sunday, me and Doug were like, let's go watch it again. And we watched it back to back to back.
Adam says The Hunt was better. I haven't seen The Hunt, but believe it or not, I remember that was one of the first movies to come out during COVID, right? Like,
it was the first movie. I remember it was so it came out the week before everything shut down, and then it came out on streaming.
And I remember thinking that it wasn't going to be good. And then I heard from people it was good. Yeah, I've heard it was good. I just never watched it. Yeah.
I mean, what a surprise that movie was. Like, that one surprised me. There was a lot of good twists and stuff that happened in that movie that I loved. But that's a tough one for me. I think I'm going to go more partial because I've seen it more. I'm going to say You're Next out of the two. But, I mean, The Hunt was The Hunt was awesome. That was an awesome movie. So
Okay. Oh, Hollow Steve, I agree. If I had my druthers, a Halloween series would be an anthology series. I agree. It would be,
yeah,
this isn't a popular opinion with some people, Christian Hannah horror, but I would want them to touch on Halloween 3's universe in some way. And before some people in the live chat say, no, 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 I'm not saying you make a sequel to Halloween 3. I'm not even saying you
the
make
universe
a prequel.
though.
Yes,
that's what you're
the
meaning.
universe of that, and
I,
some of the machinations behind Silver Shamrock. Just something like that. I want something like that.
I think it actually would work better as a TV show than a movie, and the reason why is I think a movie, while there is a fan base, and I will give so much credit to David Gordon Green and that trilogy for giving Halloween 3 a fan base now.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I think there is a fan base out there, I don't know how well it would do, like making a movie and putting in theaters over a TV show. I think a TV show would definitely work better, in my opinion.
And you could really expand upon it. So I would
Yes,
love a
that's what I-
series.
yeah.
And it doesn't even need to be multiple seasons. Just give me a limited series.
A
Just
mini
give
series,
me,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, I believe I speak for Justin as well. We have both seen that movie.
I have seen it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
it's not an easy. It's not a super fun watch. That's
No,
probably
it's
why you
not.
haven't watched it in a while.
My-
but it's a very
you know-
good movie.
No, I agree. No, it's a very good movie. It's not easy to watch though. So
Yeah.
my taste in horror has changed a little bit. Like I have a hard time watching a lot of that stuff. Clockwork Orange, visually, acting wise, Stanley Kubrick, it's amazing. But I have a hard time watching that stuff nowadays.
I hear you. Speaking of which, I wanted to. I think of a movie like that with Christ. What was I going to say? Oh, like the Last House on the Left remake.
Yeah,
I think that remake is better than the original film, and
I agree.
I will die on that.
I
hill.
agree with that.
I think it's a great remake.
I don't like
it's hard to watch it, at the beginning portions.
Yes. I think I definitely think it's better. My only flaw with that, and I still have the flaw ever since I first saw it, is the microwave death. Because I was like, I don't know if you can.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense. But the movie, it's a great movie. It's not an easy watch, but it's a great movie. So
yeah. What are our thoughts on Ready or Not? Love Ready or Not.
Loved it.
Yeah, and I absolutely loved Ready or Not, and that was why I was not trepidatious about Matt and Tyler taking over Scream. And Justin and I both loved Scream 5. I think the general consensus with Scream 5 is most people did like it. It got very good reviews across the board. It was not like this new Halloween trilogy, to say the least. But I really enjoy it. And Adam, I agree. I think the remake of The Hills Have Eyes is absolutely better than the original too. Absolutely.
I agree. I'm with that one too. I mean, I love Wes, but I think it's a toss up.
They just don't age as well. And that's, they just don't age as well. And that's it's not their fault. They're older. They were on micro budgets. So there is a charm to them. But you put them side by side with their remakes, and I'm like, these remakes are acted well. They're shot beautifully. The effects are great. Like, there's just genuinely freaky moments. I think those remakes are better.
I agree with that, like, completely. Have you seen Barbarian yet? Yeah, I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Barbarian. I gave it 4 stars. I think was what I gave it, and not my opinion doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, like, I wasn't as enamored with it as some people. I did really enjoy it, and I will buy it. But I was liking the first 45 minutes better than the last 45 minutes.
I'm with you on that. I agree with that. I mean, it was suspenseful.
It was creepy.
Really good, but
Yeah, but like the first half of the movie was like you had no idea what was going to happen. You had no idea what was
No.
going on, and it was suspenseful and creepy. And I was on the edge of my seat, like, this is awesome. A movie making me think. And then the second half, while fun and over the top, it wasn't the payoff I wanted with that first half of the movie.
Yeah. No.
I want no.
I don't. I love the movie. I don't get the big hype for the film. Like, I think the movie was like, oh, this is a horror movie we'd never seen before, type of thing. But I'm like, we've seen this stuff before.
Yeah, and I'm
That
not going to
being
spoil it.
said, the twist was amazing. Like, you will be shocked with where this movie goes. Like,
Yeah. But you will be shocked. And for some people, you might be like me, or like T. Parker said in the chat. T. Parker agrees with me. Is like, you're the first half of this movie, you're like, oh, hell yeah.
the first
Hell
half is my
yeah.
favorite, though.
And yeah, and then it's just like you literally cut to a whole new character and you find out how they tie in and everything like that. And it ends up making sense, but it's very jarring because it's like two different movies. Like it
is.
really is.
You walk away from that movie thinking, oh, it seems like I watched two movies here, because you were not expecting where the movie goes.
Skarsgård was phenomenal in the first half of that movie. I loved
Skarsgård's
him.
amazing. I can't wait to see him as Nosferatu. I think that's going to be.
I can't wait to see him back as Pennywise and Welcome to Derry.
Yes.
I can't wait to see him back as Pennywise.
Speaking of which, you probably know more than me. Do you know when that is like gonna start production? Like, what is the?
So the writer's room, I'm gonna look this up now so I don't get this wrong, guys, because I don't want to tell you guys information that's just not legit. I like to be accurate. Welcome to Derry. It started. The writer's room started for Welcome to Derry in. God, this was months ago that the writer's room started. I want to get an exact date. It looks like they're aiming for 2024. That's what I keep seeing.
That makes sense. That's a good.
Yeah, that's what it looks like is 2024. They've been writing it for some time now. The writer's room, I would assume that means they're going to shoot next year, which is crazy because it's already November, so we're not that far off.
No.
Yeah, I loved. So the writer's room started in June 16th is when it started. I would assume. Okay, so hold on. We had an update. There was rumors that it had been canceled. Blah blah blah. That is not the case. Stephen King is aware and kind of involved. The writer's room launched in June, and I would assume we'd have news on this soon. I really would. I mean, it's just, yeah, I would assume. So, and yeah, I loved Terrifier, horror fan. I loved Terrifier 2. I love Terrifier 2. Absolutely loved it.
I loved the first one, though I've only seen it once. And again, my taste in horror movies is changing a little bit. Like, I've heard some things about this movie that the second one that I don't know if I can sit through. Not to say it's a bad movie, because I've heard great things about the film. I just sometimes your taste in movies change. So
yeah, but Justin, I will say I think that you need to. I think that you need to. If you can sit through the hacksaw scene in the first one, you can definitely sit through the second one. I really there's some gnarly stuff in it, and you might only watch it once, but it's good. It's good.
I mean, eventually I'll watch it.
I mean, I think it's more than good.
I will watch it.
Well, it's on Screenbox now, Justin, so you can officially stream it now.
Nice.
I'm looking for the writers. I can't see.
While you're looking, I don't know if you've talked about it yet, but Evil Dead Rise released its first image.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this.
It also released the logo. Did you see the logo?
I did, yeah. Loved it.
The logo looks very reminiscent to the 2013 logo. So, but yeah, Charlotte Gore, I couldn't agree more. That's what I've been telling Justin about Terrifier 2 is that Terrifier 2 is fun gore. It's not realistic. It's not like you're not watching it going, oh my God, this looks so real. No, it's more like, oh my God, this is insane. And you just kind of laugh. Welcome. And then Steve, welcome to Derry. All we know is that it's a prequel to It Chapter 1. We don't know if it's 27 years before It Chapter 1. We don't know if it's 100 years. We don't know. We just know that it's a prequel to that. So it's going to be an earlier cycle for Pennywise. That's all we know. Sean, again with a super chat. Thank you. My man says, because it's lagging out, so I'll just read it without... Ever seen the 1990 Shining TV miniseries? I found it interesting how different it was and how King hated the casting of Jack in the first one. I love it. I saw it a long time ago. Justin, you like it?
I love the miniseries. I mean, you got some dodgy CGI, but that was 90s TV. But I love it. I love Kubrick's movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies. But if you're looking for something that, because I need to finish the book, but I started reading it. Something very true to what Stephen King wrote, that miniseries does it really well. I love Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance, but I'm more, as far as character goes, I like the Steven Weber version of Jack Torrance, because with Jack Nicholson, even though he did love his family, like he seemed like on the edge, like when you first saw him, where Steven Weber's Jack Torrance is definitely more just he's written just like Jack is in the book. Like he's trying to start over with his family, and then the Overlook just takes him as the series goes along. So
yeah,
I
mean, it's no secret that Kubrick took a lot of liberties with King's novel, and that's why King has a lot of issues with that. And that's why King prefers, like myself, and I know it's not a popular opinion, but prefers Dr. Sleep. Because
Dr. Sleep's fantastic.
It is. And you know, anytime I never argue with people about it. Like we never argue because everybody like mostly agrees. Yeah, Dr. Sleep's really good, but it's not better than The Shining. And like, if someone thinks that, and you know, that's totally fine. You know, I just prefer it. I don't know what it is about it that makes me prefer it. They're both phenomenal. But King prefers Dr. Sleep because it was more true to his source material. And it also righted some of the wrongs that he felt The Shining movie did. So, that's why he likes it more.
Can you believe, what is it, Nick? 3 years it'll be 3 years since Dr. Sleep came out. Like that just doesn't seem right. Like I really feel like it came out yesterday. Like, I don't know, like not yesterday, but a year ago.
It'll be 3 years in like a week.
Yeah. I love that movie. I need to rewatch those. Those are great movies. But yeah, the Shining miniseries is one of my favorites, and then going back to the original movie, Kubrick obviously cast Shelley Long, and she's not described like she is in the book. Do you know this? I don't know if you know this, but you know who the studio wanted, and
for Wendy,
Kubrick was like, "No, I'm casting Shelley."
For Wendy?
Yeah, for Wendy.
No,
they wanted Jessica Lange, and she was very upcoming at that time.
Oh my God, I would have fucking loved that.
I mean,
oh my God, I love Jessica Lange.
I love her too. Like that was their choice, and he was like, "No, I want the character to be this," and he fought for Shelley Long. Like, just I know she had a hard time making it, and he really did not make it easy for her, but he did fight to get her that role. But yeah, they wanted Jessica Lange.
That's wild. I didn't know that. Lathan, I have not watched The Watcher. Have you watched The Watcher?
Oh, I'm watching it right now, and I'm loving it. It's so good. So good.
And I agree, Adam. I absolutely love the novel of The Shining. That's one thing I read. I used to read a lot when I was younger. I don't so much anymore because obviously anything we want to read is now at our fingertips on a device. But that's not an excuse. I could still read. But I've always read King. I love King But I agree with a lot of people in saying that he can't really, a lot of times he doesn't nail the ending, but you're right. The ending of the Shining novel is great. I love that ending. And that's why I love the ending they give Danny in Doctor Sleep. I
Yes,
love
I do
that as,
too.
yeah, it felt right. But
And honestly, Nick, go watch that miniseries again. And I get a little teary eyed like when I watch the miniseries at the end of it because of the way. I mean, we all know the book. If you've read the book, you know the ending, but it's kind of emotional. I was like, it's a sad,
I
sad
believe you.
ending.
I believe you. And it's, with Doctor Sleep, it was like that for me. It was sad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was definitely sad. Spoilers if you guys haven't seen Doctor Sleep, but it's been out for 3 years. So, um, knowing that Danny was screwed, basically,
Yeah.
like he knew he had to die, and I hated that because after everything he went through as a kid and helping this girl and overcoming, everything that his dad overcame just to
Hey,
die,
David.
just like his dad. God, it sucked. I hated it. But I hated it in the sense of I wanted to see him live. Trekopedia,
Screambot,
yes.
Screambot, I agree. Like the kid in the miniseries, not great. Like not a bad actor, but just like you said, kind of torture trying to punch the kid in the movie.
Is it like
But you have
Babadook?
Rebecca De Mornay and you have
Is it
Steve
like
Weber.
Babadook?
You
Babadook
what?
torture? Is it like Babadook torture?
No. I mean, I
Ugh.
could watch this kid over the kid in the freaking Babadook like that. Yeah, no. It's
T.
just
Parker.
more like he's just very whiny in the Shining miniseries. He says, "Daddy, daddy," like a lot. So,
what's up, David? How you doing? And T. Parker, yes, I have. I've watched the first 2 episodes of AHS NYC, and I didn't hate it. My only issue with it is I just miss a lot of the original cast. It doesn't feel as much like American Horror Story anymore.
I feel like, and I also feel like they didn't. I mean, is it me? But this was like the first season where I felt like they didn't really promote it as much.
Well,
like
the subject matter of it is definitely definitely very out there in the sense that it's not like anything they've done for AHS yet. I enjoy it. I think it's a very interesting idea and premise. The premise is basically it's about a
it's like Cruising, that movie Cruising.
Do you know the premise of it?
Yeah, it's like it takes place in the 1980s.
It's
kind
about
of a gay club scene.
Yeah, like a killer targeting people in the gay club scene. Literally like Jeffrey Dahmer. So like it is an intriguing premise. I want more of the cast back. I miss.
I do too.
I get it, Jessica Lange, I get it, but like Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, like they're all gone, and it's
I think Evan Peters was like, I need a break after doing Jeffrey Dahmer because that's some deep stuff there.
Well, funny thing is, he told Ryan he didn't want to do the previous season of American Horror Story. He was he came back for a double feature, kind of reluctantly. He kind of was done for a while. Not that he was done forever, but he wanted to take a break from darker roles. And then, of course, Ryan Murphy talks him into it again with Jeffrey Dahmer. And now he's like, I need a break for a while.
Yeah.
But you're right. Zachary Quinto is back.
We got back Zachary Quinto. Yes, we did get Zachary Quinto back. You know what I miss though, Nick? And I think this makes sense. I really felt like the first 5 seasons, at least for me, you had one center star or character or person you were drawn to.
Usually Jessica Lange.
And I feel like the first 4 seasons, it was Jessica Lange.
And then it was Lady Gaga.
And then after that, I feel like, I mean, Sarah Paulson's amazing, but I've never felt like Sarah Paulson was like a center focus character as much on the show.
She wasn't. She was a very, very good auxiliary character. She was never the main focus, but she wasn't a side character.
And that's what I'm missing with the later seasons. Like after 5, we never had that center focus character or that actress or actor, and I think it's missing that too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I absolutely loved Lady Gaga in
Oh, she
season
was
5.
amazing. She
But I also really loved Jesus Christ with the bots. Come on.
come
Um, I,
on.
I also really loved Dennis O'Hare as Liz Taylor. I
Oh,
loved Liz
I
Taylor in
loved
that
it.
season.
That that one episode, it makes me cry all when I think about it. It's
Mhm.
you have Lady Gaga's character. She's not a good character, like not a good person, but the episode where she pretty much tells Liz, "Hey, I want you to be who you are. You shouldn't have to hide yourself."
Mhm.
That was a really good episode. That was very moving.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know
no,
what I'm
that
talking about? What episode?
yes. Oh, I very much remember
I
it, and
mean,
because
it
I've
was
watched
so
that
good.
season all the way through multiple times. I love that season, and
I love it. Um,
Trekopedia. I don't know because of Paramount. Paramount, has obviously the first 8 Friday movies were theirs, so I don't know if they would put the Friday movies up on Peacock. I could see them putting some of them up there for
I
sure.
could see some of them, yeah. I was gonna ask you too about American Horror Story. I know I miss Connie Britton and Dylan
Oh,
McDermott. I know.
oh,
Do you
yes,
know what I mean? Like,
yes,
do you agree with me? Like, I miss them. I think
yes.
Murder House is my favorite season, like by far. The most coherent. That's my favorite season. I think they're so good in it. And I know we've had them return in small roles, but I really miss them on the show. Like, if I have
See,
one gripe with Apocalypse and them coming back, it's that we just didn't get them as much. Like, I wanted more.
yeah, for me, um, for American Horror Story, I would venture to say the first 5 seasons are all phenomenal. I think that they're all just genuinely great seasons.
Yeah.
Murder House is great. Asylum is probably my favorite. It's the one that makes me think the most. I think it's the
Hmm.
darkest. Um,
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely the darkest. Yeah.
Coven is a lot of fun and
It
has
is.
great characters. Freak Show is
I
very
love
dark
Freak
as
Show after
well, and
second watch.
yeah, and then Hotel is just amazing. Like
I know it.
Hotel is the definition. If you think of the word slay, that's what I think of with Hotel because
Oh,
everybody is so like just it's it's so in your face. I love it. Like I love
I
it.
love it too. I love that first episode. I still remember the first time I watched that first episode, and you have that song "Tear You Apart" come on, and you have that whole
Mhm.
segment. I mean, brilliant stuff. And that's
And
like
yes,
the
yeah, that's
that
another thing
that
people are talking in the chat, Justin, about 1984. I really enjoyed 1984.
I love 1984.
Yeah, and
Yes,
I was
I was a
worried because
fan. I
I
loved
hated
it.
I hated Roanoke. I
Yeah, I
thought
wasn't a big fan of that. That lost
I
me.
yeah, I thought Colt was very good. I really liked Colt. And for some of the people that, I don't want to get into opinions and shit like that, but like people thought it was going to be one-sided. No, Colt is it shits on both sides.
Yeah,
It pokes fun at both sides. And I really enjoyed Colt. And it
I
mainly just for like Evan Peters is phenomenal in that season. And then Apocalypse was like, eh,
I
like
personally
Apocalypse.
loved it. I
You loved
loved it.
Apocalypse?
I did. I loved.
It
I
was
mean, it
too
had its
short for
flaws,
me.
but I
It
loved it.
it was only 8 episodes, and I felt like the meat of the story we didn't get enough of. We didn't get
Oh yeah,
enough
I mean,
of the
yeah.
murder house stuff.
The Murder House stuff I wanted to see the most of. Like I'm a fan of Coven. I love Coven. I love the characters. I wanted more Murder House. So when they announced that they were coming back, I was super excited about it. And
Jessica fucking
I
Lange came back for an episode. It was
I
amazing.
know it was
It was
amazing. And
amazing.
she came back as Constance, and I was like, yes.
Yes. Yes.
And I love, but I
Uh,
will say this. Here's another actor. Ryan Murphy, put him in a lot more stuff. Um, Cody Fern is
oh
amazing
yeah, he's
in
great.
that.
He's great.
He is amazing. And if you've never, I don't know if you've
Mhm.
seen American Crime Story, but American Crime Story for Saatchi, I mean, he should have been nominated because he was so good in it.
I think I haven't seen that. I think, Steve, it's we're on season 11 because Apocalypse was 8. Then you had 1984,
Yeah,
double feature,
11,
and now NYC. So there's 11 seasons as of right now.
I would
Lathan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, what's your guys' favorite Friday the 13th films? Top 3. He says the original, Jason
Top
Goes to
3.
Hell, and Part 5.
What's your top 3?
Top 3.
And I'll give you mine.
Okay. On a whim, right now, it would be Part 3. It's my favorite. I don't care. I know it's not a popular opinion, guys. Okay. Part 3. Final Chapter, Part 2.
Mine is Part 6, Jason Lives is my favorite. Final Chapter, and then Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when it goes, I mean, like after that, like I really enjoy. I love Jason Lives. I think that the original is a good movie, but it pales in comparison to some of the other movies in the series, in my opinion.
My top 5.
Yeah, I don't even know what my top 5 would be as of this point. The New Blood.
I don't either. I know
The New Blood's one of my least favorite, simply just because
3 is involved in there somewhere.
Yeah, 3 is my number 1. I freaking love that movie.
It's probably blasphemy to say this, which I like to be a little controversial. Oh gosh, I can't. Jason Takes Manhattan might be in my top 5.
Oh, yeah.
That might be in my top 5. I have a soft love for that movie now. Like, I
don't hate it. I have a good time with it. It's one of those movies. I like it better than Halloween Resurrection.
But I got to think about this list again. So
yeah, no, same. I love A New Beginning. I love A New Beginning.
I love New Beginning. It's so good. I love that.
It is so 80s trash. It's sleazy. It's
sleazy. That's the word. Yeah, exactly. It's sleazy.
I love it. I have so much fun with Part 5. But the New Blood was neutered by the MPAA, and on top of that, I just feel like it wasn't a very coherent story. I would say I like Takes Manhattan over the New Blood.
I like it better too. But you know what I like about New Blood?
Jason X might be in my top 5. Really?
Jason X is in your top 5?
It might be.
Nick, are you? You know what, boy? I view it is.
Jason X is a movie that knows exactly what it is.
It's fun. That's what it is. It
just leans into it. Yeah, I mean, it knows exactly.
It's not my least favorite of the franchise. It's not my least favorite.
It's probably not top 5, Justin. Honestly, now that I think about it, I would put Jason Lives in there, and I would probably put Part 5 in there. Maybe, and then probably the original, then Part 5, and then probably Jason X. So it's like middle of the road. But yeah, I do not like Jason Goes to Hell. I don't.
I like that, but that's my least favorite one. And now it is like, it's not the one I go to a lot. Adam, like Part 8 is so cheesy, but there's something about it that I just absolutely.
That's what Adam is saying. Yeah, it's not good, but it's so good.
It's like, I love JJ, like the guitar. I want that guitar, man. That's what I want. But yeah, I don't know. That's a series where there's not one that I dislike in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like Jason Goes to Hell. I can't get behind Jason. I understand the ambition, and I understand what they were going for, and I appreciate it, and I respect it. I do. I like fucking Halloween Ends. Okay, I like when they take a swing. Sometimes it just doesn't land for me, and it just didn't work for me with Jason Goes to Hell.
But yeah, I mean,
but then
I
again,
was going to say this.
Jason X goes crazy LSD, and I loved it. I think it's a blast.
I was going to say I love Part 5, and that did something different, and it's kind of like Halloween Ends. So it's, I don't know, it's just taste. It's just the taste in movies. So
Yeah. What would be your least favorite Friday the 13th movie?
My least favorite, Jason Goes to Hell.
Thank you. I'm not alone.
No, Jason Goes to
Christian
Hell. I like Jason
Christian
Goes to Hell, but it's my least favorite one.
Christian gives me shit about it all the time. He says that I don't like it. I'm like, I just don't like it, man. But I will say, Jason Goes to Hell is not as egregious to me. Look, this is why I can never get behind. And again, it's all opinion, guys. I know if Nightmare is your favorite series, that's your opinion, and I respect that. But I've never been able to get behind some of the arguments for saying that Nightmare is the best franchise, because although Jason Goes to Hell is my least favorite in Friday, I don't hate it. Although Halloween Resurrection is my least favorite in Halloween, I don't hate it. I hate Freddy's Dead. I think that movie,
hate Freddy's Dead too.
It sucks, Justin. It sucks.
It's the execution. It's everything about the movie.
It's poorly acted. It's poorly shot. It's poorly written. It's corny. It's not at all scary. It's a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon.
And that's exactly what it is. Like I'm not a fan.
I think
of
that movie genuinely sucks. Like I think it genuinely sucks.
And I honestly think like, I'm gonna rewatch Halloween Ends, but I think I could tell you this right now: Halloween Ends is better than freaking Freddy's Dead. Like yeah. I mean, because when I compare them, they're like my least favorites of the franchises. But what makes Halloween better for me is I think Halloween, there's a lot more movies there, and there's a lot more quality than what we get with some of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and thank you so much. The Dead Recliner, $2 super chat, says American Horror Story Coven is my favorite. Hey, it's a fan favorite season. You can't go those first 5 seasons. I genuinely don't think you can go wrong. I genuinely don't.
No. And it's so sad. Like I was going to talk about this. Hotel out of Rotten Tomatoes is the lowest rated one. The lowest rated season. I don't understand.
Okay. So I've got to talk. So I'm pretty sure that's my buddy again. Okay. So my buddy that's in the chat, Friday the 13th is his favorite franchise. And when we were kids, he was older than us. He was a few years older than us. He had Jason X on DVD, and we would watch the sleeping bag scene over and over just to laugh our asses off. Like literally just laugh our asses off at him beating the shit out of these women in sleeping bags against trees. It's a great scene. And it's a movie that I have had the weirdest relationship with. So much fun. When I was a kid, I loved it. We watched it all the time at his house. As I got older, I fucking hated it. And I didn't understand why. And then now as an adult, I've come around and be like, I never actually hated this movie. This movie is just a crazy amount of dumb fun. And I love it for that. So yeah.
Same. It's a fun, good time. I love the poster. It's still one of my favorites of the franchise. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Christina, that's okay. Hotel's split with people. It's split season, but I love it. So
yeah, I love it too.
That was a season when Lady Gaga was introduced to really that was like her first big major acting role. It's like now what we have of her is just amazing. She's an awesome singer. She's an amazing actress though. And Hotel, A Star Is Born, House of Gucci, I'm not the biggest fan of the movie, but her performance is amazing.
Yeah. I'm on Letterboxd, Phil, NEBZ94. That's how you can find me. And David, you're absolutely right. I was definitely there for the boobs. Can't lie to you. I was a kid, all right? The simplest things in life.
Rudy,
Rudy's in here, by the way.
Though. You need to go watch it. That performance and House of Gucci, she just amazing. I don't see Lady Gaga when I'm watching those performances.
I haven't seen House of Gucci.
Like I said, the movie's okay. Her performance though, amazing. She's amazing in it.
Well, here we are, guys. We've reached 7:30. We've talked about a lot of topics. I just got the notification. Oh, there's Phil. Hell yeah. Nice. On Letterboxd.
Oh.
I think this is a good time to wrap. I got another show to do in an hour on my buddy Matt's channel. So stop in there, guys, if you
First
want
Elm Street
to.
movie, real quick. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't want to interrupt you.
You're
but
good.
First
You're good.
Elm Street movie. We'll answer this real quick. Mine was the original.
Same. It was the original.
Oh.
And then I think the next one I saw was actually New Nightmare, believe it or not.
Mine was part 2. I got terrifying memories of them.
And part 2 is actually my favorite Nightmare movie.
Oh, I love that. That's in my top 5 or top 4.
No, Rudy, I did not say that. I asked if you had seen it because I was thinking about buying it. And I was like, Rudy watches like everything. So he's seen it. And you were like, no, I haven't seen it. And I was like, what? You haven't seen it? So actually, Rudy, you need to remember things correctly, my friend, because I remembered. But you're good, Phil. You're good. But we covered a lot of topics today, guys. We talked about the Friday the 13th show, a potential Halloween anthology series. We gave our Friday the 13th top, ranking a little bit in there. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about American Horror Story. Next week will be interesting because I don't think we have a topic yet. Although Justin does have an idea.
I need to do a ranking of the Hellraiser movies because I finally watched Judgment today. It took a while for me to watch these movies, but Judgment's actually not a bad movie. Rewatching it.
It's not. It's kind of gross.
It's gross. No, it's disgusting. But
yeah,
it's not a bad movie. So.
No, yeah. The first 10 minutes of that movie are genuinely like,
I know. I'm the same way. We'll figure out a topic though. I want to think about something. So
we'll figure it out. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, we hope you all had a lovely Halloween. And I hope November treats you well as well. Justin, my friend, as always, it's a pleasure and an honor.
Oh, it's a pleasure too. I always love doing this. I apologize. I was so late to the game, like doing this.
Again, like I told you, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
But I had a fun time. This has been really fun. So
we always do. And I'm glad you were here for it. So leave a like on this stream, guys, if you have not already. We love you. We hope you have a great week. And we will see you next week.